Hey everybody, welcome to Lesson 13. This week you're going to study the Article of Faith 13. Kind of a coincidence in the way this course was laid out. When you were in primary, I'm sure many of you thought that, man, will I ever get this one memorized so I can pass and get out of primary. At least that's the way it was when I was a kid. If it hadn't been for a good primary teacher, Gloria Burmester, I don't know if I'd ever made it through Article of Faith 13. Anyway, here is a couple of things. Again, this week's assignments are very, very simple, straightforward. So there shouldn't be any confusion unless there's weird stuff with the hyperlinks to some of the course, but I think they're all working. Anyway, so you have the study assignment 1, study assignment 2, lifelong discipleship and sanctification in the celestial life. Again, discipline learning is this kind of the overview of kind of what the theme is for learning this week. Again, a hyperlink to some BY Idaho material. Again, you've got your materials here to study. These hyperlinked to sections of the scriptures and Elder Christofferson's talk. These required readings, again, the scriptures, and these other talks by members of the 12 and First Presidency. Some pretty good sources there. Again, discussion posts are due. First one's due by Tuesday. The rest are due in the rest of the week. You have a summary paper. Again, you know how to do that. I think end of week reporting, you know how to do that. Synthesis project. This is where you're going to summarize up the whole thing and get after it. Here is a couple things just to point out for you, just so that you know. In week 13, you're going to submit. Now, remember, you're finding your work, submitting your presentation, putting it in. You'll submit it through the assignment page and upload it. Of course, there's a Dropbox assignment, and then you have next week you're going to use it and dump it into a discussion board that's supposed to open up. So we'll see how that goes, and then we're going to have an opportunity to comment on each other's presentations, which is kind of cool. I think if that'll all work right. So that's kind of how that works. One little tidbit on this: I'm a little bit frustrated with some of the groups that they don't seem to communicate real well together, and I don't know why. Seems like in some groups we have students working independently on parts of assignments without others knowing it. We have some people thinking others are working on assignments, and then when they get to the end of the week, if they didn't, and so now they're caught off and behind. And so, man, do all you can to communicate. That's just a good common courtesy as being a good student, college level student, to communicate. So do your very best through discussion boards. If you've got emails, text messages, what we probably should have had everybody do is put everybody in a group text while you were working on this so you could communicate. But anyway, maybe that wouldn't work either, but somehow you just got to do your very best to communicate so people's feelings don't get hurt. Last week we had a little bit of trouble with some of the course links not working. If it's a regular assignment, you don't have to have a course link. I posted it in the announcements, but if you need to go to a quiz, you can go to the quiz. If it was like some of these are labeled a quiz, and so they're in here. You can just go directly to them. If it's an assignment type assignment, kind of a Dropbox assignment, you can go right in here and find them as well. So anyway, you don't always have to use the hyperlinks. So sometimes just look around. If it's an assignment or quiz, this might bless you in other courses. If it doesn't hyperlink you to it doesn't work, it's broken to a discussion page, or it's the wrong one, I think you can go right on in here and make that work as well. So those others are just a convenience, but you don't have to use those to get to those parts. Anyway, have a great week. And by the way, this is almost the end. So next week, it's it. Isn't that sweet? So good job. And if you have questions, give me a call, an email, a text, whatever. See ya.